This new year, feel the rush of thrilling new offers. Book a Honda car today with exclusive benefits up to Rs 50,000. For more details, visit your nearest Honda dealer now.
When people watch characters and when they watch movies, if they see something which they connect with, it liberates them.
My director saw that and then he blessed me and then he gave me 5 rupees and he said, from today onwards, you are Makkal sir.
First time I expressed myself creatively was through dancing.
The kind of dialogues that I got, they are very socially responsive. And not just gender-wise, not just because I'm a woman.
About an artist who wants to rebel like a Banksy, about a cop who is the other side of the coin.
I could really relate to Sunny very easily, and there was a Sunny inside me also.
I think naturally when we start thinking, we try to find humor or something that's off in a normal situation, and eventually once it develops, I think that's what gets, seen as a quirky thing.
That student is died long ago, so I want to bring out that student and I want to learn something.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I know, I didn't know that. Very nice.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Chandhini from Cinema Express.
Hello, sir.
I just watched the trailer, it's super fun. I'd like to start with Raj and DK. Most of your content is considered to have a quirkiness. So how do you actually see that? I mean, I found that in Farzi's trailer also. So that does it come organically or is it?
Looks like organic because
we sit and when we want to write, we think, okay, let's turn on the quirky meter. No, it doesn't happen. So I think naturally when we start thinking, we try to find humor or something that's off in a normal situation, and eventually once it develops, I think that's what gets, seen as a quirky thing that you probably not seen. Like there are scenes where a husband and wife are arguing and breaking out, and then the wife says a word in English and still keeping the same emotion. Like he's like, 1 second, and looks up the word and say, oh, that's what you mean? So stuff like that, I think it kind of comes from a natural situation that you don't expect to see in a certain situation, and I think that's what gets labeled as quirky as it progresses.
How did the genesis of Farzi happen? Was there any sounding board? What was it?
I remember years ago seeing a survey on somewhere, like a survey that said that the amount of counterfeit bills in India could almost be 1 in 4, right?
This was before demonetization.
Much before, like some 12-year-old article, 10-year-old article, it was 1 in 4, and I was like shocked at the number of it. The kind of course, another survey came later and they rubbished this and said, no, it's decimals, it's like 0.1%. So we don't know what the reality is. So we had an original idea thinking that if you remove your wallet and want to pay something, one of your 4 notes is fake. If that's the kind of situation we're dealing with, it's a faceless crime. It's something you don't know, haven't seen before. It's such a unique concept. We do drugs and we have crime series and movies on drugs and this and that, but never had something on this. And money is so everybody's thing that it gave us a good platform to showcase a bigger picture of haves and have-nots, the disparity, the juxtaposition of high-rise buildings and slums together, just the system, art in it. So all these things started happening about an artist who wants to rebel like a Banksy, about a cop who is the other side of the coin, who could be as grey as if he can be if he's given an opportunity. So there's a line in the trailer that says, everybody is a crook waiting for that chance. So it's just that suddenly the world opened up so much that it had to be made into a show.
Right. Interesting. Shahid, so it's been about 2 decades for you in this industry.
Just now somebody's congratulating them on 20 years. They said we've only been there for 12 years, and I kept saying, I am completing 20 this year.
I noted that. Times have changed. Many generations have seen you.
I feel so young.
I've grown up watching your films. So do you think it is very significant to stay relevant at this point in your career? And is it also a reason for you to make your OTT debut?
Well, I think a lot is changing and a lot constantly changes. And I think creative people always thrive on change. Because I don't think they want to keep doing the same thing again. Otherwise, they would have picked a desk job or something more structured, more solid, where the timings were sorted, where you knew exactly what you're doing and you just get better at doing that every day. I think creative people inherently like to do different things and break out of patterns and find new things. So I think we all became filmmakers and artists out of that need to break out of the regular and do something different. That's what challenges us. So the change actually helps. The fact that things don't change or stagnate, I'm always scared of that. So I'm actually very excited whenever I feel like there's a change in trend or something different. Of course, you have to sometimes see success, sometimes failure.
Definitely.
And you learn from, I always feel I learn much more from my failures. What's there to learn from success? It was all good, great. Okay, now what? What did we learn? Nothing. It's always good to learn something. So I actually enjoy that. My OTT debut happened because I had been watching content for 4 or 5 years, and then these guys who are the best at this currently in this country had something for me. And when I read it, I got super excited, and I felt it was a great opportunity to play a character over a longer period of time and delve deeper into it. Sometimes it's, you just feel like you don't have enough time to do everything or say everything in a film, and this gives you more opportunity. So yeah, it all fell in place.
While working on Jersey, you said how you were involved in pre-production, and that kind of helped you while playing the role. Did you get the chance for Farzi?
Yeah, so what happened was that when we met, it was under development. So I got 6 months to interact and engage with them, and we could exchange ideas and thoughts. And, that process helped me kind of wet myself for this opportunity. So by the time I came on set, I felt like I actually knew what I wanted to do or how I was feeling about it, because I had spent a lot of time. And I've over time started doing that a lot more, as opposed to just saying, okay, when am I shooting, and just getting on set.
Yeah, he was one of the...
I like to spend time. And
I'm saying he was very thoroughly prepped. We were shocked and surprised at how much he was ready for a series in terms of it, because I wouldn't expect that. Usually when you're working with actors, they come in and you pretty much tell them what scene they're doing, right? And then you go like, oh, this one, okay, got it. And he was very well prepared. So I think that's what the prep goes in for him. He probably has flowcharts in his house. He doesn't show us.
It's all in the head. It's just, I love talking. And I think a lot of it just festers. It just stays in the system. And because I feel if you process it, then you start repeating yourself as an artist. But if you don't think it through, but you know it, then it starts coming out organically. And I like that now as an actor.
I also think he doesn't forget anything. Like, we would have had discussions months ago, and some line we would have discussed, and when we are shooting many months later, whether we remember or not, like he still remembers that. Like, remember we spoke with him, and I'm like, oh, you still remember?
You just have to meet my wife, because she'll be like, what rubbish, he doesn't remember anything.
In one of your interviews, earlier interviews, you had mentioned how before coming to this industry, you always used to say that I want to become an actor, I'm an actor, I'm an actor. And then after getting into the industry, you start saying, I'm a good actor, I'm a good actor.
No, earlier I started like that.
Okay, so now that it has manifested, do you still say that, or adeda mari irka ungalku and mantra?
When I was working in Dubai, from my office to my room, it is about 10 minutes walkable distance. The corner there was a TV where Laurel Hardy cartoon show was going. I don't know, Laurel Hardy, somebody was saying, I'm a bird, I'm a bird, I'm a bird. Then he became a bird and he got wings and he was flying. So that inspired me so much. Since that day, before I sleep, I started saying, first I started saying I'm an actor, then I said, no, I'm a good actor. Then I started saying I'm a good actor. So I don't watch films, and then I don't have that habit. And I was not a fan of anybody. So I thought, okay, life, whether it will happen or not, okay, let me start saying it. So I started saying it.
Now it's time for you to say, I'm a great actor, I'm a great actor.
No, I'm not saying
I'm a legend, I'm a legend, I'm a legend. Come on!
Sir, wait, sir. So after that, when I start trying for movies, then I realized it is not that easy to become an actor. So then I started understanding through how they write screenplay and stories and how to analyze a film and everything. Now I'm analyzing different things that like the writing process, how Shahid said, no, that we have to break our patterns, and then
Right.
the more about me and myself, how I am doing it, and then I want to break from myself and then explore something new. So that is exciting for me now.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at your filmography, there's Sudakavam, there's Orange Mithai, there's 96, Petai, Vikram, and there's Upena. So it is very unpredictable. As an actor, very unpredictable. What you're going to do next is a surprise for us. So in Farzi, will that be a case?
So I can't say that now. You have to.
We should wait for it.
Yeah, because if I say it, it's like self-dabba. So which I don't know. Because every time, now I have an acting coach. Recently, she's Pooja Devriya. She is having very good experience in theatre. So she is giving me so much theatre exercise, and then I'm trying something to break my old patterns. I don't know how far I have evolved, so I'm just trying.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
How did you think of that though? Like,
no, because I don't know.
did somebody suggest, or you thought yourself that
I
you
thought-
wanted?
So I want to break it. My timing, my rhythm sense, everything. I want to
Amazing.
break it.
Okay.
So I don't know. It is like still it is out of focus.
Right.
I know. So it'll take time. I know that it'll take time. And then I realized that, see, in 20s, till 20s, we learn something and we started practicing what we learned,
Yeah.
what we understood. Maybe till 40s, now I'm 43, 44. So now it's time for me to learn new things, because that learning cells is dead. By the time 20 years, I've been practicing what I learned. Now I have to.
So it's a conscious decision for you to push yourself and learn new things.
Yeah, because that student has
Right.
died long ago. So I want to bring out that student, and I want to learn something new.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I know. I didn't
Love
know
it.
that. Very nice.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
So I'm just, thanks.
You
I'll
also,
feel- I'll
also
feel
said
little-
that about.
Huh?
You also said that one day I asked him, "Why are you doing all these films? Where do you have the time?" I said,
Exactly,
"For
yeah,
with
yeah.
everybody."
He had 4
The
releases
answer you
last
told me
year.
was you want to work with all these actors, so you will learn something from all of them.
Because I can't, sir, see, I had only one scene with Shahid. Suppose if I had, say, about 10 days work with Shahid, means when the scene, I can't go and ask Shahid what is your process and how you are doing it. But if a scene comes to me and Shahid, so I read it and I understand and I ask you some questions and I go in a way, then when he comes and when he delivered, when he performed, that I can understand something from him.
Yeah,
See, normally it is not that we have to speak to understand somebody, that while they work also we can understand through them.
Right.
Through the work we can understand. So
yeah.
Yes.
that subconscious learning which I love it.
Lovely.
So I don't know when I'll get a chance to work with Rajini sir, Kamal sir, Vijay sir, Shahid, and then now with Shah Rukh sir.
Shah Rukh, yes.
So I worked with Chiranjeevi sir. So different language, different culture. So that's very interesting, and then it comes and say, "No, you idiot, you don't know anything." Every time when I'm blank, no. So it's like, yeah, some shots I don't get anything. I know something is missing, but I'm not getting any ideas to how to execute it. And I'm a very shy person, so that all disturbs me so much. So I want to break that every time. So I'm just trying.
But he's absolutely right. Like when we had just one scene, and that day when we were shooting together, I was so curious in my head. Like how will he be? What will he want to do? How will he like to say his lines? Like that curiosity creates that interest and that focus. So when the thing that you're curious about is in front of you, you're absorbing and assimilating everything without really doing it consciously. It just happens naturally because you're so interested in something. So
And when we
100%.
both discussed, and it's only one scene, but he made me very comfort. So I first asked him, "Sir, you don't mind, sir? Can I say something?" He said, "Please, sir." So even though he worked in that series for so many days, I'm just first day itself. But he don't have that ego or nothing. It's like a very friendly approach. And then I can go and tell him, "Sir, can we say like this, sir? So can I come like this?" So it was
You're also very instinctive. The way you while he's doing the rehearsal, he's thinking, and then suddenly something will come in his mind, and so I actually enjoy that, because then it's it's like it's visceral. It's not planned and boring, and you know what you're going to do 10 days before. It's like you're reacting live, and I feel that's always the most interesting part of filmmaking, when it's unplanned, because it just somehow comes through as being organic.
When I work with Mani sir, so suppose if some accidents happen, suppose if he hit somewhere, fell down, no, he says, no, continue. That makes the scene more natural.
Yeah.
So it has to be more natural. So just let it on the flow.
Nice. Raashii, you've always said that artists, especially according to you, artists should have a social responsibility. So to realize that, how do you kind of choose characters or choose films which will give you that space?
See, honestly, if I can be very candid, there are not a lot of roles where I sort of could
Yeah.
project that side of me. And there are certain roles where, now that I'm getting where there is a certain kind of social responsibility that you have in the terms that you're using or what you're saying. And that way I have to say that Raj and DK sir, the kind of dialogues that I got, they are very socially responsible. And not just gender-wise, not just because I'm a woman, but for everybody, I think, for that matter. But they were especially a little more conscious with me. Like the way they've written my character, they really respect women, and they made sure that nothing was said that is offensive or nothing was said that is not okay.
That should be more liberating, right?
Yeah, and they're very good that way. So that's why I said that they're ardent feminists, because the way they project women in their series, it's amazing. So sometimes, a lot of times, actually depends on the filmmakers, the way they write their characters. Because I may want to be socially responsible, and but a lot of times that doesn't really happen. So I'm really happy that it's happened. Like I've seen it in these two people, and of course there's an inherent thing that I have too. Whereas sometimes when I get a sheet of dialogues and I'm like, okay, I'm not okay with this, I do voice it. I do voice it a lot of times.
Family Man 1 and 2 received great reception. So did you kind of have any pressure while working on this, Farzi?
Well, the first thing we were conscious of is saying that this is a different show. And we wanted to make it as different from Family Man as possible in that sense. Like the way we were shooting, the way, just the nature of the show. We wanted it not to look like, okay, Family Man 1 happened, Family Man 2 happened, here's Farzi. It shouldn't feel like more of the same. We wanted this to look like a completely different show. And we took steps to make that happen in every step of the way. Like right from the way it was shot or edited or the dialogues, everything about this, we wanted to make it different. So if you say so, the impact that Family Man 1 and 2 had on this is that we wanted to get away and do something different. That was the impact.
Mm-hmm. In Jersey, you said the character was very relatable to your personal life. So when you see in Farzi, where did you get inspiration from? Or did you have some reference, or did you do some kind of research to build up your character?
No, I understood Sunny immediately somehow. I've been a middle-class boy going for my dance classes, catching trains, earning for myself, being with my mother who's a single parent for a certain period of time. I had a younger brother, Ishan, now he's acting. But so I know those feelings. When you are creative, you don't have a degree to show that you're good, you're bad. How can a creative person prove himself? And a degree is kind of like you can show it and somebody buys into the fact that you know what you're talking about. But when you go to express yourself as an actor, sometimes you don't get a chance to show also what you're going to do, So I could understand his artistic frustration. I could understand the streetiness because it's based in Mumbai. I've grown up talking that kind of language, I've been with friends who were, off the streets, and we used to hang like that. So I could really relate to Sunny very easily. And there was a Sunny inside me also somewhere. Now, this character makes certain choices. He starts, counterfeiting money, and he goes on to the dark side. But we all have had our frustrated moments, and we all have considered, some extreme steps to change your reality because you're frustrated and you're tired of being in that situation. So I could understand that frustration of Sunny's, and I kept always telling Rajan DK that, let him go harder. Like I used to keep pushing to not make him a nice guy necessarily. Like let him be who he is. Because I think when people watch characters and when they watch movies, if they see something which they connect with, it liberates them. They can't do certain things in life, but if they see them, it kind of helps them remove those emotions and those feelings, and they feel lighter afterwards. So I like to play characters that are on the nose, that are edgy. I feel that's always more, it's more exciting, it's more real, it's honest. You're not trying to paint a rosy picture. You're saying it as it is, and I think people appreciate that.
I just saw you grooving to music in between shoots. So how has dance influenced you?
I learned everything first as a dancer. I was very shy when I was in school, and when everybody would be dancing, I would be standing on the side, moving half my foot and not confident to go. So I know. I understand why you're saying that today, but like that's how it actually was. And then I started learning dance, and I became a student of Shamak Davas. And so actually, the first time I expressed myself creatively was through dancing. So music and dance will always be in my system. I always listen to music when I'm doing a really important scene or something. I like to sit and just listen to some stuff, or So music is very inspiring for me.
Right.
I actually feel that everything is created from sound. Even they actually have in science, that's what the new discovery is, that they're saying that even particles are actually created from sound.
You, in one interview, spoke about perception. What people see you is different from how you see yourself.
Yeah.
You have this tag, Makkal Selvan. People have given it to you for multiple reasons. They like you, they like your acting, could be many more reasons. How do you perceive it? Why do you think you have got that right?
One of my movie, Dharmodari, where we were shooting near Theni. So there were, I went earlier, it was location shift earlier. The people from tea estates, they were taking rest and eating puliyodare and then vada. So I see it's yummy. So I went and I asked them, and I had puliyodare. So my director saw that, and then he blessed me, and then he gave me 500 rupees, and he said, from today onwards you are Makkal Selvan. That's how it came. So, and then it's out of love for him, and that gives you responsibility also. Sometimes when you carry some title, that protects you. That's what he says. He says it'll not make you to, it'll stop you to make some unethical films, maybe work. Maybe it'll stop you, it'll protect you, he said. So I don't know what to say.
Lovely story. Yeah. I also have one, sir. My directors, these two only gave me 500 rupee note, but it was a Farzi note.
Yeah, on that note, thank you so much. It was lovely speaking to you all. Thank you.